Quest on. I found my bolt. The last episode of Quest On was talking about living. This week, I'm going to look at some thoughtful statements made on living with others. Let's see what we can learn. Plato has this to say: you can discover more about a person in an hour of play than in a year of conversation. You sure about that? I get the comparison, and playing something with someone is certainly a window into their character. But a year's worth of conversation? I'm not a good conversationalist, but do you ever talk to anyone, Plato? Let's move on. This second quote is from Epictetus? I don't know if that's how you say it. Looks like Epictetus, but I'm pretty sure that's not it. But I do like this quote. I didn't know if it was his. Maybe someone else said it before him. A lot of people have said it after. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. And that is some good advice. I found that I can learn a bit when I speak by realizing what an idiot I must sound like. So that's something. I'd guess the ratio should be greater than that. 10 to 1 maybe? What do you think? I don't see a whole lot of point in saying much unless you have something to say. This quote is from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Every man I meet is in some way my superior, and in that way I can learn of him. To me anyway, learn of him means to learn more about that person. And I think what he means to say is learn from him. But that's just one of those things about language meaning something different over time and space. So I am pretty sure I know what he is meaning to say. Although I suppose you would learn of him as well as from him. That's a good, humble kind of an attitude, to think that everyone has something to bring, something of value. I certainly hope to value every person. In some times and situations, it can become difficult. Let's figure out something else to think about. This one, liberty consists in doing what one desires. Well, it's still the 4th of July weekend here. That's from John Stuart Mill. And I think it's a good idea to think about liberty and independence and what they mean and what they don't mean. It gets a little bit complicated to say that liberty consists in doing what one desires. I mean, are you sure about that? There's some desires you probably shouldn't fulfill. I like this one. Gilles Deleuze. A concept is a brick, like liberty. It can be used to build a courthouse of reason, or it can be thrown through the window. Look out with those ideas. All right. I don't have too much to add about that. It speaks for itself. Sounds good to me. Margaret Mead said this: never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. She's talking about us. See you next week.